Hello everyone and welcome to this video where I will be analyzing some of the chases I have been in. Some of them failed, some of them successful, and I'm just going to explain to you either why they failed or what I was thinking during the chase and how I made it a successful chase. So I hope you find this to be helpful for you and you can take it into account when you're getting chased by the killer. And let's just get right into it. So in this first chase, I am being chased by a trapper. I do make a mistake because I failed to plan my route correctly. So when I get to this jungle gym with the one pallet, I know that the next jungle gym over, the pallet there has already been used, and the Killer Shack pallet has already been used. And so I should have used this opportunity to go back to Cold Tower when the trapper is following me around this jungle gym. Instead of stopping to see if he followed through, I should have just ran straight to Cold Tower, because my chances at surviving would have been a lot better there than the path I did end up taking, which was going to the next jungle gym. So I will go down here in a moment just because of my failure to have an appropriate escape plan. I apologize for any drops in the frame rate during this chase. I was having issues with my recording software, but this chase was still a really good chase, and that's why I want to show it. The actual game did not lag for me at all. In this next example, I am being chased by a Leatherface here. And so what I'm about to do is, when I jump this window, I don't look behind me, and I realize he's trying to cut me off too late. Now, this doesn't get me caught right then, but still, if I had looked sooner, I would have been able to turn around sooner, and he wouldn't have been able to catch up to me so quickly. And then here, I should have jumped that window. Instead of going up the stairs, I 100% should have jumped that window and gone to a different jungle gym, because I knew I used most of the pallets in Asylum, and it was just too dangerous at that point to stay in Asylum. Now, at this point though, I know he has charge speed add-ons, and so I can take that into account for my future chase with him. Which is now, here is the second part of the Leatherface chase. So, I play it off nicely here, seeing that he's mind gaming me and counter move to what he does. But in a moment here, we'll get to the part where I make my deadly mistake. So I abused the fact he respected pallets right there to kind of just keep him up in this area while they get the exit gates. He might chainsaw me before I get there. He gets greedy for the chainsaw, and that costs him the down right there. So here is where I made my mistake. I knew he would respect with the chainsaw, and that is why I didn't throw the pallet. Because I knew he would respect, and I really wanted the killer stun. So I should have just accepted that he was going to respect with the chainsaw and thrown the pallet, because that would have bought me enough time to get to the exit gate, I'm sure. I knew he had charge speed add-ons. I shouldn't have risked the chainsaw. I should have just thrown the pallet and not have been greedy for the pallet stun. So again, my greed gets me. In this next chase, you can see it is a Hillbilly. He has found me on a generator, and I wanted to commit, but unfortunately did not have the time. I wasn't going to risk getting body block chainsawed there. So I run to the pallet loop. I recognize and take note that he has the perk Enduring, because that stun was way too fast. At this moment, I'm trying to determine what kind of killer he is. Does he respect pals, or will he lunge through them? So here, I'm gonna have him predict. So I faked to the right, because I heard him chainsawing. I predicted he would try and cut me off in that direction, so I faked right and then turned hard left. And then there, I knew I could cut the corner faster than he could turn, and that he would either have to cancel his chainsaw or commit. And then he gives up on me. Now that's a classic killer mistake right there, is just trying to switch directions back and forth across a pallet loop, he would have been able to catch up to me if he just chased me straight through, but instead he tries to mind game the loop. So this tells me that while he doesn't respect every single pallet, he does respect some when he sees the chance, and he will mind game if possible. So I have to be careful in any future chases. So here's the second chase with the same killer. It's quite short in comparison to the other one, but he sees me around the hook. I was hoping to not get spotted. I hear the rev, so I jump in the locker, and then jump out and use the pallet to stun him. So the reason I didn't throw the pallet is because I knew he would just chainsaw the pallet, and I knew the lockers were right next to the pallet. So I figured I could jump into the locker and he would either cancel his chainsaw or get stunned. And fortunately he did get stunned, which is the better turnout for me, because it gives me more time to get out of the locker and then either get to the pallet or window. And then he got off of me because he saw someone saving from the hook. And then here we have our next chase resuming in a jungle gym with a window and one pallet. I fake a direction and then go the other way, and I'm trying to keep my eyes on him so I know he's not mind gaming. I try to get to stun there because I thought he would swing through it, but he instead did not. And then I see there's no pallet there, so I know I have to get to Coal Tower somehow. Now, I should have faked that window, but it turned out okay because he wasn't able to catch up to me. I took a bet there. I was betting that he wouldn't be able to turn fast enough in order to chainsaw me. So if he had any add-ons at all, he would have chainsawed me right there. Use the pallet to stun him, break chase, and then I go to Coal Tower. I see Jake is there, so I don't go for the window, and instead I go for the pallet. But the killer has stopped chasing me to apply pressure to the exit gate. Now I see him in the distance here, but I'm gonna just tap the gate real fast for those points. Again, I cut turns really fast. The key when you're against a hillbilly is keeping your eye on him and knowing how to turn to avoid his chainsaw. Now I know Billy saw Jake, so he's probably not going to leave this exit gate, so I just abandon that exit. I assume the other exit's open by now, and I go for that one. Because why stay in a dangerous area when I don't have to? The safer option in the situation I'm in is to go for the other exit gate and let the Billy guard that gate if he wants to. Moving on to our next chase here. Pay no mind to the We're Gonna Live Forever perk when I'm on the PTV. That was just a little mistake. But this game, I am going against a Wraith. So I see him. I want to confirm the uncloak before I use my sprint burst, because a lot of Wraiths will try to bait out your sprint burst by pretending to uncloak. And then I'm not sure exactly what happened here, but for some reason the Wraith tries to do some kind of mind gamey trick on me. So I guess that he's mind gaming, and then I turn my camera around and I see him moving across the jungle gym. No idea why he did that because there was no pallet there, and he missed out on a free hit by doing that. I get to this pallet loop. The direction I was running was intended. I knew that there's pallet loops outside of Asylum near the entrances, so that's why I was going towards this direction. And then I figure out that this Wraith is terrified of being pallet stunned. Like, he was respecting that pallet so hard, and again making the mistake of trying to mind game the loop by switching directions constantly. So just watch the Wraith's movements here for a second and see how I counter his movements with mine. Now, this probably won't happen in all your games, but sometimes you get a bold survivor that randomly goes to the killer, and that David tried to stun the Wraith and then gets the Wraith's attention, taking him off of me. So that does happen in some games where survivors will take the killer's attention for you, even if you're in the middle of a chase. So I hope you have found this to be helpful for you, and I plan to do more commentary on my chases, on both failed and successful chases, And I'm also probably going to do commentary on specific scenarios that may occur during my matches and how I go about reading scenarios and all that, just to give you guys an idea of how you should think about situations that may happen to you during a match. Maybe I'll even just pick one really good game and just commentate on that, how I'm thinking about the game, how I figure out how I go about playing a game in Dead by Daylight, and hopefully it will help you guys a lot. So, thank you very much for watching, I really appreciate it, and as always, good luck out there in the fog, and see you next time.